Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble and I'm on Patreon and all that good stuff here. So let's get started. We got some interesting news. We got some kind of updates regarding the 12 volt power thing connector with that NVIDIA supposedly already deployed this kind of improvement on this power connector. Supposedly the improvement mainly comes from these 4 pins here. They are more recessed. If for all intents and purposes, if the connector is not fully seated, this 4 pins serve as to give limiting power to, which is in because it is a 600 watts. Sorry, a little bit confusing. Try to explain this. So these 4 pins allow for the total of 600 watt powers, in this case of in a 4090. Supposedly when you have the adapter, each cable delivers 150 watts, and this serves as a combination, depending on the connector that the GPU has, to request the power limits in 150 watts kind of brackets. And basically this given that at least the issue that we've been having is with 4090s melting, this so all intents and purposes, if the connector is not fully seated on the GPU, it will not unlock basically the full power or the full 600 watts. And if it's not fully connected, I don't think it even doesn't allow even to deliver any kind of power, which is kind of a failsafe of all of nothing, which is a good remedy. Again, you have a better image here. As you can see, it's a little bit recessed here. It's a weird image, but it's more recessed, so you have to fully sit it so the pins make connection on the cable. I don't know. The revision itself has this is like this is not a full revision on GPU stuff. This is mainly like a quick fix at the moment, because from what I understood, even from the power cables, they sit it around this is basically square pins here around the connectors. And there is 2 variations, at least they were being manufactured, a dimple one and the one functions basically as a clamp design. And one of the things that they don't know for sure, but at least my perception of how it works, the dimple ones, if the connector is not properly seated, basically because it only makes in a small amount of surface area on the dimples, there is more stress caused in terms of resistance of the current passing there, and with that, the more resistant there is, the more heat it will generate. And I think this might be one of the reasons, because it is not just one cause. This is several causes, but the overall theme here is flawed design. And the fact that the design is so flawed that it has several stress points that can go away, starting by not even if you properly sit it, then you have like the wiggle stuff, and the fact that you have a wiggle on the power connector that doesn't have like a fail-safe state to not deliver power. In this case, the 4 pins, that is now corrected only now. It's been like 7 months or more since the 4090 was launched. More, I think it was launched like around November or something like that. We got this situation here, plus the fact, even if the sensor pins don't have this failsafe, you had like the 2 designs that were implemented, the dimple one and the clamp design, on how the power cable sits on the power connector on the GPU, and the fact that the dimple one has more probability of creating, if the connector is not fully seated again, it causes, I think, in terms of probability, more resistance on the connection itself. Plus other stuff we don't know in terms of soldering. There was a possibility of soldering not being like on par with quality things here, and the fact that the connector itself, plus connector itself can be stressed out by the fact that, for example, with the GPU, the 4090 has like 4 bananas, like pigtails that can stress a lot on the cable itself and on the power the power cable can be stressed out, and if the soldering was not good, it will cause some breakage on the soldering inside the connector where it fits here on the GPU. There was a lot of stuff here, and it still is, because the revision of this design has not been yet implemented. The only thing is like this quick fix, which is like all or nothing, which is it supposedly doesn't deliver the power if it doesn't if the GPU doesn't recognize that these sensor pins are connected through the power line. But yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully this is like the 40 series already been implemented. I think some MSI connectors also were implementing this kind of thing, even though the problem being from the side of the GPU. I don't see a lot of sense of on the PSU, because the PSU in terms of stress out and have this like wiggle room issue, I think it's way more difficult to try to replicate this kind of thing. But it's understandable that they also, on the side of the PSU, they shorten this for sense pins. But yeah, for now it is what it is in terms of what the information that we have. I hope that this revision comes as soon as possible, and it in fact resolves all the issue of burning out the 4090s, and I think 1 or 2 4080s were on the mix also. I don't remember exactly the details. I don't think the Founders Edition, I think it was AIBs like the OCs and the gaming, the ones that are overclocked and use some. I'm not sure if some of them used the 4 require the 4 pigtails, so basically more than 450 watts. I'm not sure which GPUs, if any of the 4080s, needed like more than 450 watts. I don't know, but yeah, at the moment it's just I'm going to keep an eye on it, trying to see if there is like any updates regarding like the official revision, if what kind of fixes does it go. I don't think we will see a lot of information regarding addressing the specific issue of the 4090 melting causes, mainly referring to the design itself. That they already gave face to a certain point that the design had to be revised, but they will not, especially NVIDIA will not recognize that it was their own fault, because they have been telling that it's always user error. But again, it's the same philosophy. If you make a design of something that induces user error lots of times, or the majority of times, it can be attributed to faulty design. But yeah, this is it. Continuing now with AMD, I've got this hardware unbox video. It came out yesterday. Here is 1 hour ago, but this is I paused the video afterwards. Regarding the AMD sponsorship kind of thing, that was like kind of not a drama, but the situation that they didn't reply properly regarding if they are or not blocking DLSS, or even from the Intel, the upscaling technology. Even though we know that it's when you implement one, the other two are very easy to implement, regardless if you implement first DLSS or FSR or something like that. But yeah, I think the Unbox guys went and tried to get more clarifications on this situation, and basically they didn't have a response. It got a good resume of the situation here, and they did their own kind of gaming list of the ones that have and don't have FSR and DLSS. It's a good watch. Of course, we'll leave the video in the description below. Now for gaming GPUs more, we got Intel Arc is lowering in prices again. It's getting more competitive as it goes. There is some fine like small quick bits regarding the drivers and some stuff here on the software on their end, but it's improved a lot. it's been more rare than not having any kind of issue. So they are very competitive in terms of performance, especially with 760, 4060, and to a certain point almost with the 4060 Ti. I think it's well worth some deals on Newegg. 20% off here, plus 20% off on the 7050, and this also on the 77 8GB, both of them, the 8GB version. Here they didn't mention here China price, so it doesn't apply for US market. But yeah, seems they are in a good place. I just hope that with Battlemage they just raise their game up and deliver excellent GPUs. They are aiming at the moment for 3080 kind of performance for the Battlemage. I don't know if they're going to make any refresh till then, because this one has been launched for some time now. The Battlemage supposedly only launches next year. I'm not sure if it is like second half of next year, but yeah, it is what we got at the moment. They are relatively competitive. There is stock of them, even the Founders Edition per se from the 16GB, they dropped off, but we have like at least two manufacturers, the Gunir and the Azrox, I think, or Acer. I'm not sure. There are two manufacturers doing the 16GB A77 still. Check here that they leave the links here for Newegg in some of their deals, and of course everything I talk about here, the links are in the description. We got some interesting news. I think I spoke about this one, Lighthouse Games. Supposedly they managed to get like an investment from Tencent. Supposedly this investment doesn't interfere regarding like control of the IPs and like the destiny of as a studio, but yeah, seems to be like financial investment. Supposedly after they launch the game they want some of the returns. Basically I think that's it. This is the same guy that co-founded basically co-created the Horizon series, so Forza Horizon, and he founded this Lighthouse Games with some guys from Codemasters, where he was working at regarding Dirt, Grid and F1, which are good, very good franchises also. So I think we'll have like a kind of situation when we have a more dedicated racing kind of studio at the moment for their first game. We'll see how it goes. If they manage to get something similar to akin to what at least my perception was of Gran Turismo when the first one came out. I'm that old. I played the Gran Turismo on PlayStation 1, and until I think I played until Gran Turismo 3. Then I stopped using consoles and went to the PC market and never got any consoles more. But yeah, they got investment, so I don't know, in 4 years or so we should have our racing game here. Of course I will follow up if there is any more news. Got some more mods here. Witcher 3 alive and well. There is an immersive lighting mod 2.2 version plus 100 other mods in a new 8K resolution video. I'm not sure if the 8K is good or not, because I cannot pass beyond 720 basically watching videos on YouTube in my laptop. But yeah, it seems pretty excellent. This modder here has like a playlist of Nexus mods regarding the mods it is using. I think it also has some gameplay mods and besides, not only because 100 mods of just visual tweaks, it's too much. There is for sure gameplay mods, texture mods, and all that stuff. You can try it out and check this one. It's pretty good in terms of how they went about changing the palette of the even in Tucson, and especially on Velen and I think Novigrad. I think they show a little bit there, and the texture seems pretty good. At least enhances the quality of them. Yeah. So, and lastly, for gaming news, from time to time I watch some Tim Kaine videos. This is the guy who basically was the main programmer for Fallout, the original one back in the day, and it's always good to have some to hear his opinions of the industry at the time, how it worked, and how they made the games, and the philosophy behind of some of their stuff. And of course, he was also game director of The Outer Worlds. I don't think he had any input regarding that new remastered or the upgraded graphics. I think it was outsourced to another studio. But yeah, he basically he said that basically the elevator pitch for this game was how Fallout meets Firefly, which is very interesting. If you never watched Firefly, at least the series, I think you should have a watch. It's a pretty good sci-fi series. And if you watch Firefly and play Fallout, supposedly you will get a good idea of the Outer Worlds here. And of course with their Fallout New Vegas kind of humor. I never played this game, The Outer Worlds, but at least I get an idea what it is. And it's I recommend when you get in a gaming deal, I always recommend this game, mainly because of the creator and how they went about it. They're basically the creators of Fallout New Vegas, and I played that one and I like very much. And so we're going to wrap up here with some gaming deals. We got Shadow Tactics. I always refer to this one when you get a deal here. Very overwhelmingly positive game. It's kind of like the old time Commandos games. So isometric view, you got your tactics here, and then you have to go about. Usually it's a stealth game, point and click kind of a thing, scenario here, where you like hide the guys, jump around, and then you have those missions that you have to make some objectives. And I try to get caught here. And the good thing here, they have like a demo here, and the game is like 90% off, so I think it's an excellent price, and 80% with the anniversary bundle. It's always a recommendation for me. We got also BioShock the collection. I already have BioShock Infinite, which is one of the games that I made a gameplay series on it, but this one it's pretty good because it's a remastered version of both first and the second one, which has the upgraded visuals, and of course this includes the DLC for BioShock Infinite also, and for also Minerva's Dawn remaster, which is basically the BioShock 2 DLC. I never played this one, so I don't know what it offers, but yeah, it's always a recommendation. It's one of those, at least the first one, you have to play it, so you will see a lot of inspiration in a lot of games, especially first-person RPGs or first-person shooters with RPG elements. You will notice a lot of inspirations from BioShock. Also, we got Children of Morta. This is an indie game. It's a roguelike, isometric view, hack and slash, more about hack and slash, and the story seems pretty good. Pixel art, as you can see, and I think it's about a family to try to drive away the darkness, from what I can gather. And I think it's an excellent game, very positive one. 75% off, or 73% off for the complete edition, because it has like different DLCs here. I'm not sure which DLCs, what kind of content they released, but it's one of those that I would like to try out and probably do a gaming series, something like that. Also, we got Dave the Diver. This is like a new game. It's been raved all around the reviews that I've been seeing. It's got the introductory offer of 10% off or 16% off if you want digital extra stuff. I don't know what it has. This is a new game, so there is, I think, some kind of rare bugs here and there, and some places get some stuttering, but it's not that like a non-issue to the point of like game-breaking stuff here. They've been patching very almost in a daily basis. And yeah, it's like your in the third part it's like an RPG. You go dive, catch the fish, have some missions there, and then you have like the restaurant sushi stuff here going about, and there's like a lot of comedy around it, and I think it's pretty decent. It's one of those that caught my eye in the early stage. Also we got Dome Keeper, another roguelike kind of game here, pixel art. It's a little bit with mining also. It seems pretty good. It's a shame that it doesn't have a demo, because from the footage that I saw of gameplay here seems pretty good. And we got, of course, each run has its own thing here. Then you have like the permanent upgrades. You got different ways to go about when you do the levels. It's pretty interesting. And it's one of those that it's like 40% off, so it's a very cheap one. 44% for the digital deluxe edition, and they always have like events like with challenges and everything. Seems keeps it now supposedly comes with mod support, so it's one of those games that if you like this kind of game, it will last long, pretty much. And last one, it's Long Dark. This also seems a little bit shame that doesn't have like a demo. It's 50% off for the base game, I think, and the survival edition. I don't know what kind of package this is, but the Quiet Apocalypse bundle, it's basically everything that they have, 43% off. This has, from what I understood, has a lot of content, well worth this price here. And they are really very interested in this game. I managed to saw this one when it was in early access, and I quite enjoyed it, what I saw at the time, and I think they've been since then. It's been a while, like almost 5 years now. Yeah, I think it's a good game. You will see also some in the indie scene. You will see some influences of some kind of survival, and how the art style is managed here. You will see some influence in newer games regarding this one, because at the time it was very talked about in terms of the survival aspect and the crafting aspect also. And basically this is it, guys, for today. I will leave it here with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better and more content for my private clients, and of course in my free spare time doing my daily stuff with better quality, resuming some of the gameplay series that I left off, doing also some scripted content for me to get in some deep dives of a lot of things that I like to talk about, and probably in the near future doing some live streams. And all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.